Hello everyone. In this video I aim to show everybody that owns a Bowtech Carbon Overdrive a problem that I've noticed about the riser warping and creating an unsafe condition. There's a couple of very subtle but obvious changes to the bow that have happened over the last 3 or 4 years. My suggestion to you is to go out and take a look at your bow. Look at these telltale signs and see whether or not you're seeing the same thing that I am with the riser, where the riser is actually warping and it's causing the string to become off-centered, and I'm afraid that it's eventually going to come spinning off the wheels. The first obvious telltale sign you'll notice is right there on the string stopper. Over the last couple years, I've noticed that the string keeps shifting farther and farther to the right of dead center on the string stopper. Now I've tried to adjust the string stopper as far as it'll go, and there absolutely is no more play in that string stopper. That's as far over to the right as you can see it, but the string no longer sits in the center of the bow. Okay. The second thing I've noticed with my bow, this carbon overdrive bow that was made by Bowtech back in 2014. I'm going to take the bow and I'm going to lay this part of the limb, just this part of the limb, on a perfectly horizontal surface, my kitchen countertop. If the bow is perfectly square, if this bottom part of the limb is perfectly square with the riser, the bow should be standing straight up and down. Look what happens when I put my bow on this countertop here. And I'm going to hold it just with 2 fingers so you know that I'm not influencing the results here in any way. The bow is shifted significantly to the right-hand side, which means this bottom limb here is no longer in a good plane. It's actually tilted to one side. What I think is happening is the lower part of the riser on this bow is bending, and it's causing the bottom part of the limb to be canted a little bit. Again, let me put it on the countertop here. Hold it with 2 fingers, and I'm going to spin it just a little bit, so you can see it from different angles. You're going to see that I'm not influencing this in any way. This bow is not perpendicular to the horizontal plane. It is leaning to the right-hand side. I've contacted Bowtech on this. They tell me that there is no recall on the Carbon Overdrive. They have some issues with some other risers on different models that were made in years past where there are recalls. This one here, they refuse to say there's anything wrong with it. If you go on the internet, you're going to find other people that are reporting the same thing as I am with this Carbon Overdrive bow. My advice, if you have one, do those 2 checks I just showed you about. Check to make sure your string, see how it's centered into the well, I should say not centered into the string stopper here, but also check to see if your bow is, in a perpendicular plane to a flat surface like this. Okay? If you do have these issues, my advice to you would be to stop shooting your bow. Give Bowtech a call. See whether or not they're going to stand behind your bow and replace these things. In the meantime, safe shooting.